This is NBA to rap. So what we're doing is we're comparing the NBA stars to what rappers they would be. Their style, their career reminds us. So we're going to get right into the list. None of that fluff. Let's do it. Set it off.
We playing, we running the same. But what I need to know is who running the same.
I go hard in the paint.
Yeah, we love the sport. In the game since day one, we run the court.
All right, so let's get it started with throwing it back a little bit. Tim Duncan, who you got, Lukey?
I got Black Thought from the Roots.
Al?
Tim Duncan reminds me of Master Killer of the Wu.
And I put in Scarface. So, Lukey, explain yourself.
Tim Duncan got mad rings. Like, he got the back-to-back championships, you know what I'm saying? But, like, he ain't really the star of his team. Black Thought is the best technical rapper to me. And he got, boom, Questlove is known for the Roots. You got Ginobili over there. You got Tony Parker over there. You got Dave Robinson, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. So my thing was, I thought that he was just like real quiet dude. He was like the man, you know what I'm saying? Word. They don't know Black Thought, they're the Roots.
Well, I think of Master Killer because when I think of the Wu, I just picture Master Killer just holding a notebook. And then the RZA just taps him on the shoulder. He looks up, spits his verse, and then puts his head down. For me, that's Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan, I picture him. He just got his legs folded. He's sitting at a table. Tap him, go in the game. He gets you 20 and 20, sits back down. You to approach him in public and say, hey, yo, you are great in San Antonio, man. You're a legend. I feel like he'll look at you in your eyes, look down at you, and just tell you, shh, we don't talk about that. And that's it. A man, a few words, Master Killer style. He'll come in, snipe you, he's done.
I said Scarface because to me, Tim Duncan is like Scarface in that it's nothing flashy. You know, Scarface isn't going to hit you with a bunch of punchlines and wordplay and this and that, but he's just consistently considered one of the best in games. Every great rapper wants Scarface to join him on a track. Everybody respects him. He's your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. And Tim Duncan, I think, is one of those dudes that he's like your favorite player's favorite player. Like they just took something from him every time and just consistency and nothing flashy. Next, let's go with Barkley.
That was Ice Cube.
I got Ice Cube too.
Yeah, you guys went unanimous with Ice Cube. It's just the swag, the hardcore swag, and then how he switched up his career now.
To me, unapologetic, in your face, Ice Cube from NWA to Lynch Mob is Barkley just like slam dunking on you, gorilla dunk, two hands, you know, going hard, just throwing dudes out of getting into fights, talking about your girl, just unapologetic. And then to transition, Barkley to TNT, Ice Cube is like in Are We There Yet? Hey guys, I'm making a family movie, you know? So I think Barkley did a little bit of that too. It's from that like, fuck you, I'm not your role model, to like, hey, let's take the kids on a family trip.
And now he's twerking on Capital One commercials. Y'all seen that shit?
Yeah, exactly.
Barkley. Yeah, but that's a great comparison right there. Both them motherfuckers, NWA niggas attitude. Barkley always been that dude with an attitude, yo. Yeah. Remember, we was conversing about Barkley throwing the dude through the window, and in the trial, what'd he say?
The judge says, do you have any regrets about what you've done? And Barkley said, yeah, I regret it wasn't from the fourth floor instead of the first.
He would have caught a body, yo. Maybe.
Guy, Russell Westbrook.
I got Lupe Fiasco.
Lukey?
I said Little Nas X, but there's somebody else that was better than him. Yo, but the person, go ahead, right here.
I'm going to say, I got 3 stacks, Andre 3000.
Yeah, but there's an update. There's an update on him.
Yeah.
Came in.
Young Thug.
Westbrook is the young thug of the NBA.
Young Thug. I think that's a good one.
I'm joking.
I think Westbrook, you could definitely go Young Thug. My whole rationale with Andre 3000, I'm like, always part of the twosome, like makes the other guys around him better. I think Westbrook Paul George had a career season when he was with Westbrook. Durant had career years with him. All these guys that Westbrook plays with, except for this latest Lakers run, and he puts numbers on the board. Triple doubles are the double platinum shit of rap. And Outkast did that. Andre 3000 he could deliver, he could spit. Everybody loves him. And he's got like this eccentric, somewhat flamboyant, kind of weird artistic side to him that I think Westbrook has as well. So I think that was where I was kind of going with that.
My Little Nas X comparison was like first came in the game, we didn't know what the fuck was going on. It's just kind of cool. Whatever, triple doubles here, triple doubles there. Now all of a sudden it's like, what the fuck you doing, man? Yeah, he can't shoot. He can't score. He traveling. I don't know, man. He just got rid, yo. So, boom, that's what my thinking. But yeah, Young Thug to me, that's like the perfect. Russell still ain't whack. He's still a good player. Thug is too. He in jail though.
I mean, look.
All right, Al. So you said Lupe Fiasco?
Yeah, I had Lupe. Just the Young Thug and the jail story is overshadowing everything. But the Lupe Fiasco, I just compare Westbrook because he's scrappy. He was young in the game, and he was, he was making a name for himself. He had to run a bunch of years, then he kind of like faded. But that's why I had the Lupe. It just reminded me of him. Now with the Young Thug comparison, I feel like any day Westbrook could walk in with a blouse, a dress, a gown. I don't know. So the Young Thug is probably more accurate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Game. Blouses.
That makes sense.
Yeah, very Madame Moselle, both of their styles.
Damian Lillard, my dude.
Jada Kiss.
J to the moi. That's what I got too.
I didn't even have nobody because he rapped too. So I was like, Dame is like, seems like sometimes he gets overshadowed.
To me, when Jada and Dame bring their best, there's nobody better.
Yeah, you're
like
right.
they're just out of this league, right? They got loyalty, Jada to the Locks, Dame obviously to the Blazers, which I'm grateful for. They're just some of the best to do it. No debating that. I think they're both like kind of low-key, humble, but confident as hell. Like they know those are guys that'll go up against anybody and feel like they could hold their own, and they will.
Drew had a line said, "I'm the rap Dame Lillard," and he said, "You're the rap Dame Lillard." So it made me because some people think Dame can rap, some people don't think he can. So I guess Drew was insinuating he can't rap, but he can hoop.
Yeah, I just think Dame, you could just put him in any room. Like Jada, you could put him in any room. He's gonna hold his own. You could put Dame in any court, wherever. He's gonna hold his own. Everybody knows he's official. Everybody knows he's gonna put in that work. And similar to Dame, just like Jada's been sticking with the Locks, ride or die, just like the Trailblazers. Jada can go get checks. But he stays loyal to the Locks. Just like Dame, the Knicks, the Lakers, everybody. Yo, Dame, come. Dame staying with the Locks. He's staying in Portland.
We might all want to say this one at the same time because I bet you we all got the same one on this. For Kyrie, on 3. 1, 2, 3,
Kanye West.
Easy.
Yeah.
All right, it goes beyond the obvious. You got K, you got E, you got 5 letters, you got a Y, but it's so much deeper than that. Kyrie has a bag. Guy is a great ball handler, pause. He can shoot, he can finish. And then you got Kanye. He can produce, he can rap, he can do it all. Like both these guys just have a bag, but they're also maybe certifiable. There will be people that will be like, nope, they're crazy. I mean, they're their own worst enemy.
They really generous with their money as well. They put their money where their mouth is too. They really help people out sometimes. Both those guys. They both are conspiracy theorists. Kyrie think the earth's flat.
No, you guys make good points. They're both dangerous. They're both dangerous in their fields, dangerous in their sports. But the other thing that stands out to me is they're both dangerous on social media. Their Instagram,
phone.
They get busy. They shake shit up. That's a big similarity between those.
All right, so next up we got Steph Curry. I'll lead it off. I said Drake.
I said J. Cole.
I said Future.
Explain.
Because Future, alongside of the other pick I got to the other best player, I think 2 players are best, Steph and another player. They're contemporary, Drake and Future. And I think Future, they don't complain about Future as much as they do as Drake. And I don't think no one thinks that he's not a pussy. You know what I'm saying? I think the other guy, they think he's a pussy. But they're also on the same level of cult following as far as Drake in Future. And he always drop fire. Steph holds down teams, going 40 and shit, making it look flashy. Got the best bitches, fucking them, getting them pregnant. You know what I'm saying? But Steph
having babies. So for me,
Steph doesn't get bitches. Steph doesn't do that.
I know you don't, but it's still fire how Steph gets the buckets and bitches, the same thing. New mixtape called Buckets and Bitches, starring me.
All right, Al, so you said J. Cole.
Yeah, I had J. Cole. They're both light-skinned and frightening. I guess that stood out to me first. Steph changed the game, man. He changed the game, and I think J. Cole changed it, his sound. He does a lot of his own production. He's like a one-man show. He's got his own look. To me, that was Steph. Steph came with his own look, his own style. He plays the game the way he wants. Then you start seeing people coming out with the same similarities. And everybody everybody's heaving threes now, and that's because of Steph.
I got a similar rationale, two light-skinned dudes, Drake and Steph. I think if you look back over the last 5 to 10 years, both of them been just on top of the game. Hit after hit after hit, they've been at the top. Steph's getting rings, setting records on threes. I feel like they both kind of changed the game a little. Drake came in, Heartbreak Drake with his little R&B, singing a little bit, and Steph came shooting threes, and everybody kind of followed suit from there on the NBA front, on the rap front, trying to mix it up, throwing in some auto-tune, some R&B, whatever. So I think they've both been at the top of the game. I think they'll both leave their mark on the game, but I don't think they're going to be in that top 5 conversation for most people. I mean, for some of the young bucks maybe, but that's where I was coming from on that.
I kind of like your answer better than mine. I feel like Drake and Steph, both of them are not afraid to cry. So I think I'm feeling yours better.
Yeah, and I mean, they both got a little bit of a, people question, are they soft? People.
Man, I don't see that, though. I don't see people saying Steph is soft because he ain't big. I see if he was big as LeBron would cry.
He's too light-skinned, bro.
You know what, though? I'll say that, Steph, I feel like 13-year-olds love Steph because they're like, yo, I could be that guy, even though they can't. All the 13-year-olds just follow whatever Drake does. It's the same thing. They're just, I think they have that influence on that younger set that they have that influence, and those kids just follow them around and do whatever they do. So I'm not sure if this is going to be an obvious one. I think for me, it probably will be for reasons that will become very clear in a moment. Larry Bird.
Oh, yeah, I said KRS.
KRS, okay.
Chuck D.
Ooh, okay. I said Eminem. So let's have Lukey start this one off.
My shit was whack. I just thought Ramen mad official and crazy and hardcore. Wasn't a nice guy. Still a tactician in what he did. He's a great passer. Unconventionally athletic. Dunking the ball and shit. Larry Bird. People don't understand that. They think the motherfucker just a shooter. He wasn't. This Larry Bird was a mean motherfucker. So I figured the rhyme style and how Larry Bird delivered. But yeah.
All right. Well, you go ahead, Al.
I had Chuck D, and this just goes back to when I was a kid. I remember my uncles. I got 8 uncles, probably 9. I got 9, and they were all big Boston fans, and they were Larry Bird fans. And when I see Chuck D, I see 50 people behind him at all times, and Larry Bird is that. Larry Bird formed a cult following. You could go to Boston right now and drive for 15 minutes. You'll see 10 Bird jerseys over a bubble coat. That's how much they love Larry Bird. Larry Bird's jersey definitely was the best-selling jersey in Boston history. He formed his own cult. Everybody loved him, and he was a movement. He wasn't just a player. He was a movement. Powerful.
No, I get that. That's a good one. I think I saw the parallels between the Hick from French Lick and the white trash from 8 Mile. Here's 2 dudes, 2 different games that they are actually the outsider. They're actually the minority in basketball and hip hop. And they're coming out of nowhere in the Midwest and kind of having to fight their way up, right? So you got Bird coming out of Indiana State, trying to win people over, but getting mad respect from everybody, including black dudes that were like, yo, I respect Larry Bird. Then you had Eminem doing the same thing, coming up in freestyles, ciphers, his rap battles and all that. And both of them, had an edge to them, had an inner confidence they had to have to succeed and keep fighting through that. Both of them witty. Larry Bird was a good shit talker. Eminem, he could hit you with some lines, he could dead you with. So I think you have a lot of similarities there beyond the obvious, which is they are of the melanin lacking white boys. You had that, but I think there's other parallels there. And also I don't know many people myself. I know there's people out there that would talk about Eminem as one of the greatest rappers of all time. I think a lot of people have him in that top 10. And I think it's very similar with Bird, where I don't know anybody that's going to argue he's a top 3 guy, but I know a lot of people that might say, okay, maybe in that 6, 7 spot, same type of thing. So I see some parallels there as well.
I just think both of these guys, Bird and Eminem, they both came up, black guy sports. I think they practiced their craft. They're up against, it was a steep uphill battle. They practiced their craft and they got so nasty where you had to respect their game. That was their similarity. Not have Eminem in the top 10, nowhere near that. But you got to respect his skills. But Larry Bird, to me, to this day, Larry Bird is still held.
If you ask 10 different people from 10 different states who they top 10 is, you might get a lot of different answers, yo.
That's true.
In America, Eminem, they're gonna say Eminem is the greatest.
Oh,
go on my Facebook page. They're gonna say Eminem is the greatest. I'm gonna be like,
nah, he ain't even in the top 10. Eminem's not in the top 10. No way.
Yeah, I struggle with that. He's not my style. I can't just listen to Eminem all day. Like I'll listen to somebody and be like, oh shit.
You got Eminem. You got Eminem.
Yeah.
You got Eminem over Jadakiss and DMX. You have them over Jadakiss.
No one's saying Larry Bird is better than Jordan.
No, never.
No one ever. So yeah, that's another correlation to Eminem and Larry Bird as well. No one ever said.
I could go 20 guys over Eminem.
Can you say 20 guys better than Larry Bird though?
No, that's what I'm saying. No, Larry Bird is secure in the top.
He's saying Larry Bird top 10, Eminem not.
Yeah.
That's fair. I could co-sign that.
Sure.
I don't know if I could co-sign that. Taking myself out of the pitch. If I'm going an unbiased list, I gotta put Eminem in my top 10. My biased list ain't gonna have him in there. Nah.
I would say this on pure skills. I definitely think he's like around that 10 spot maybe, but like as far as what I like, bias.
Hell no. He might even be in the top 30 or 50.
Yeah,
Rock Marciano. I'm joking.
Oh Jesus.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Rock Marciano has entered the conversation. Big Diesel, Shaq,
Beanie. I said Beanie Siegel.
Broad Street
The
Bully.
Broad Street Bully, because Shaq's a bully, throwing a dunk at people and pushing them and shit.
Al, who you got?
Shaq, I got big point, bro.
I had DMX and 50 Cent, and I think we probably, from the sounds of it, all have the same rationale. Big body boy bullies coming in. To me, like DMX and 50 Cent both just came in the game, kicked in the fucking door, said, I'm gonna do it my way. Everybody get on board. I'm just gonna strong arm my way into the industry and just take it over. And I think that sums Shaq up. He was just dunk on Chris Dudley and push you into the stands, break a backboard.
Oh yeah,
you can't stop him.
Forgot about that breaking backboard shit. That shit don't even happen no more.
Bow down to me. That whole rim apparatus.
Can you be that ill to change the equipment of the fucking? That is insane. They changed the backboards for this motherfucker.
I will say this too. I think there was a side to DMX, to 50, a little bit to Beanie, maybe not as much, but also to Pun that was just like very charismatic, very likable, funny, and that's what Shaq had, right? Like Shaq has that other side to him, that charisma, and I think we see it all the time, right? But those other guys, I think, had it too, with the exception of Beanie, maybe. Like maybe if you're his friend. Otherwise, he might just punch you in your face.
Yeah, or shoot you. Alpha.
Yeah, you never seen two guys, Pun and Shaq. They outperformed the expectation of their sizes. You see their sizes, you had a thought in your mind. You didn't think that Shaq could move. You didn't think Pun could rhyme like that.
You didn't think he was gonna make a song about being a player either.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like their sizes were so like mind blowing. You know what I mean? They were mind blowing, and then they just outperformed the perception of what you thought somebody that size is gonna do.
Yeah, that breath control is amazing. You think Pun would be talking like the dude off Malcolm in the Middle in the wheelchair?
Yeah. He'd be out of breath. That
motherfucker. Damn. Really?
Head in the middle of Little Italy. Little did he know he met a middle man who didn't know Italy. Kareem. So I got Pac. I got Tupac for Kareem.
My shit was whack, yo.
Who you said?
I said Biggie, but then I know your explanation, so then that made me look like I was stupid. I was like, yo, your shit was perfect.
Yo, so to me, Tupac just put out album after album after song after song. Like he was just everything for a minute. Kareem just like longevity, just like record, domination, whatever. The other thing is they both had like this different level that made them like different than what they were, right? Like Pac was, yes, he was a rapper, but he was also more of like a poet. He had like a mission when he was rhyming. I mean, part of the time he was just on some thug shit, but part of the time it was like, I want to be a voice for this generation. I want to be a voice for a movement. Kareem was the same way, right? It was like civil rights, a voice for that. He also was on like yoga and nutrition and all this different stuff. And Tupac was like, went to a performing arts high school in Baltimore, and like there was an artistic side to him. So I think there was a lot of parallels there in terms of like just catalog, brevity of catalog, being very good. But I also think they're both a little bit like almost timed out of the like modern era GOAT conversation. Everybody's always like, oh, Jordan, LeBron, blah, 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 Kobe. But they're kind of like Kareem. He was maybe just a little bit too soon. And I kind of feel like a lot of people do the same thing with Pac. Although there's those people that will definitely argue that Pac is the greatest of all time, and those that'll argue Kareem.
I got Pac over Eminem.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Pac had his movies. Kareem had he was in Airplane too. He was in Airplane, right?
Airplane.
Kareem was in Airplane. Yeah, he was the.
I thought you meant Soul Plane. I was like, get the fuck out of here, right?
She using cilantro. Ooh, I love that freaky shit.
I was like, no, he wasn't. Was he dead?
He was in Airplane. He was in the Bruce Lee shit. You know, they both had their acting. Yeah.
I thought you meant Soul Plane. I was like, Soul Plane? No, he wasn't.
They both had the LA connection.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. So movies, that was great. It made my pick look. I was that was
Phil Jackson.
Keep the heads ringing. That's Dr. Dre.
I said the same shit.
He wins everywhere he goes.
True indeed. I was out there on in the ocean. I was thinking Russell Simmons. Dr. Dre is definitely more Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson was also a player too. So
I don't know where you got Russell Simmons.
Phil Jackson got a championship with who?
The Knicks. He got a title on the Knicks. Dre got a title on NWA.
Yeah, he's a rapper.
He did a thing on NWA, and then he goes becomes basically the coach, right? Death Row, and then Aftermath. Mm-hmm. And on both of those, what he did the same thing Phil Jackson did. Phil Jackson had Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman, Kobe and Shaq and all these big personalities. Dre had Eminem and 50 at Aftermath. He had Ice Cube and Eazy-E at NWA. He had at Death Row, he had to deal with Pac and Snoop. Like, he managed to take big egos, these big personalities, and find a way to put them together to make greatness, which a lot of people could not do.
Yo, that's a good point, Lukey. He won a championship with the Knicks. You know how hard it is to win a championship with the Knicks?
The Knicks.
That shit is next to impossible.
Yo, chill, bro.
That's equivalent. That's equivalent to the Dr. Dre Beats headphones deal. That was $1 billion. It's the same thing. You have
Yeah, with Jimmy Iovine.
$1 billion deal is the equivalent of a Knicks championship.
Pat Riley.
That's P. Diddy.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Super
Sean Combs.
Flashy.
I said Dame Dash too.
That's good.
So yeah, but definitely Puff Daddy is Pat Riley, yo. He got
they were both. Pat Riley was like the first coach to me that like I knew who the coach was. Like he was as much a face of the team as the players, you know, and that was Puff at Bad Boy. That was Dame. They were all up in the videos.
All in the videos, all on the record, dancing.
You know, and that was Pat Riley, slick back with the fancy suit.
He made it look good. He made it look good.
And he won his title.
Exactly. And that's what Diddy brought to the game. Diddy brought the producer was fresh. The coach was fresh.
But at their core, and this is the same with Pat Riley, those guys hustled. They worked hard. Mm-hmm. You know, it wasn't just the flash. They weren't just flashy dudes. They had that on the surface, but like underneath it, there was a drive, there was an ambition, there was a hard work.
They knew what they was doing. They know what they doing. I think to this day, Pat Riley, whatever executive level decisions that he be making, yo, he make it good. You get to get it done. Plus, he look like he's off Scarface. Yeah.
What about KD?
Benny the Butcher 3 or 4 years ago.
KD, I got Rakim.
I got DMX just because KD's temperament. He's just serious, going in the building. He's got the ice grill. He's taking care of business. He seems to just be serious. Like he walks out after he drops 40, he walks out the arena with his dog. You know what I'm saying? Like just him and his dog. He's not slapping everybody's hand and hugging everybody and smiling. He's just business. Let me handle this. I do my work at night. You know what I'm saying? X is the dark man. I do my work at night and I leave the arena. That's it.
Lukey, you gotta explain yours.
3-4 years ago, Benny was shooting. He wasn't missing. Everything he's dropping was dope. It was all those albums he wasn't missing. And he has a line on one of those albums talking about you soft like KD. Benny really cares about what people say in the comments on Twitter and Instagram. Mm-hmm. So it was KD because KD had the burner account and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yep. KD and Benny are actually friends. KD's friends with all those Griselda guys. So it's like boom. Funny how they both were just like so attached to the comments. Like when Freddie Gibbs was beefing, Benny's not a funny guy. Freddie Gibbs is. People like telling Benny like, yo, stop, man. You ain't a funny guy. Kevin Durant's not a funny guy, yo.
I disagree with that one.
Word. They both is winning. They both ain't missing no shots. But at the time, Burden of Proof dropped. I didn't like that album no more. They both was doing great. A miss or make lead. If you're not stopping KD. Only person stopping KD is KD. And at that time right there, I think only person who was stopping Benny was Benny. You know?
I came with Rakim because I feel like he another dude that's just serious and just lethal. I feel like Rakim is an assassin on the mic the same way KD is an assassin on the court. He could just cut you up a million ways. You know, he's just so skilled and proficient and just lethal. And Rakim, I feel like end of the day, he wasn't flashy. He was serious. He could spit. He could get on the mic, and you knew he was capable of ending anybody. He was just that good. And I feel like from a pure skill standpoint, he's in the conversation for. He was a pure MC, and KD is a pure hooper. That's their lane. They know what it is, and you could argue KD is as good as anybody ever from a skill set standpoint, and you could argue the same thing for Ross. So
good answer.
Magic Johnson. I'm saying Snoop.
I said Nas. Snoop is a great comparison.
Yeah, that's
Snoop.
a good answer.
Hey, yo, if this was Family Feud and I hit the buzzer and said Nas, it would probably be like, then Al said Big Daddy Kane, be like, ding, like 8th answer. Then like, boom, the first answer, number 1 answer would be Snoop Dogg.
True.
Well, I just figure both of them had their little pimp vibe. Magic clearly was doing his thing, and I feel like Snoop was. They're both kind of like laid back but competitive. They both businessmen, right? Snoop is on everything. Martha Stewart this and this one, that one, whatever. Like Snoop signs on everything. Magic buying movie theaters, doing all this. They clearly moved beyond what they were originally doing. They both LA. They both just kind of have that laid back. Like Snoop has a different type of charisma. Like Magic's just like exuberant charisma, and Snoop's like a cool, like laid back, hey, I'm just so cool type of charisma that I think attracts people. I think both of them were fucking, that's for sure. So I mean that's where I kind of see that.
Yeah, I had Big Daddy Kane just because, you know, Magic was the smooth operator. You know what I mean? So anytime you see Magic, he was smiling, he had the mink on, or, you know, he had some kind of flashy shit on. He didn't talk too much. He was just shining. And to me, that's what Big Daddy Kane was. You didn't see him talking and running his mouth. You seen him like real smooth. And that was, to me, that was Magic. He was on the court, he was smooth. Off the court, he was smooth. To me, that's how I seen Magic. He was just, and he's from the 80s. Big Daddy Kane's from the 80s. So that's how I registered.
Kobe.
LL Cool J.
I said Tupac.
I said Nas.
I had LL because Kobe came in the game young, as LL did. You know, young, fresh-faced, but they took over the game. They came in the game, they came in with momentum. You know, LL came in making the songs for the girls and the lovey-dovey stuff, but as soon as it was time to pull his lever, he came and Mama Said Knock You Out. So he had that dog in him, he had those records, and that's what Kobe was. Kobe had that dog in him. He came to play, but as soon as you push him and push him and push him, Kobe came and he delivered. He was on that Mama Said Knock You Out. LL, Kobe, there was a parallel. Vanguard Award. Kobe got the Vanguard Award.
I definitely fuck with that LL comparison because he came in with radio, right? I'm bad. All of a sudden, he disappeared. Yeah. Then he ran so slow to the car for I Need Love. He ran like he didn't really love her. But anyway.
Ran over the Boys to Men.
Yeah, that shit crazy, man. But it took 2 years for Kobe to like level up, right? After the playoffs when he missed them jump shots. LL was there. Then he came back and niggas was like, that's not LL Cool J because that motherfucker was built.
He put on 40 pounds of pure muscle.
Yo, when Kobe came back, cupping the ball and going to the hoop Duncan with the fro, we was like, oh shit, this not the dude that got traded from the Hornets to the Lakers. This is Kobe Bryant, yo. They're not the dude that was almost crying on the court that Shaq was hugging because he missed them jump shots. They should have been in the finals, yo. Bro, this Kobe was killing. Like LL was cool. Radio, I'm bad. It was cool. But when he came back, when Mama Said Knock You Out with the hoodie on, that's when Kobe did that was it. But I was going more for Tupac because Ambitions of a Writer, I guess. Because that's where I feel like Kobe hoops. But that's just one song.
I went with Nas because I was like, all right, everybody I know, like Kobe's on that like 3 to 5 spot on the greatest of all time. And most people I know kind of have Nas in that 2 to 5 spot, you know, very similar from that standpoint. Both of them just technically unbelievable, you know, just like a great MC, a great all-around basketball player. Both of them came up early, you know. Kobe just had these big expectations. Illmatic, when that was coming, I mean, you had Live at the Barbecue, right, with Main Source, and you had Nas just came in and boom. And it was the same thing with Kobe being drafted. And then it was like, I mean, Kobe did it take a minute. And they were also just like independent, like they were solo artists. Kobe, to me, the ultimate solo artist.
The guys were complaining. Said, Shaq, Kobe's not passing the ball. I said, I'll talk to him. I said, Kobe, there's no I in team. And Kobe said, I know, but there's an in me in that motherfucker.
He was going to score. He was going to put a team on his back. You know, he was going to do what he needed to do. He was an assassin. And Nas, to me, like, it doesn't matter if he did the 41st side or the QB this or that, blah, blah, blah. He was a solo artist, and he was so good. He didn't need all the help. He didn't need all the features. Illmatic had, like, nobody on it. It had producers, but he didn't have a bunch of guest appearances or anything like that. And he never really needed to depend on that because he's not. So to me, it was like, there's a lot of comparisons there. Like, they could go up against anybody on any given night. They're going to deliver. They're consistently great, and consistently in that top 5 position. So both of them are like just kind of cool, confident. It's not like an in-your-face cockiness. I mean, Kobe a little bit more than Nas, but like, I'm going to defeat you. I'm confident. I'm going to take on anybody, you know? LeBron.
Drake! Soulja Boy verse. Boy.
You got Drake?
Drake for LeBron, yeah.
All right, I got Jay-Z. Who you got, Al?
I got Jay-Z, man. It's home.
People think LeBron's a pussy. People think Drake is a pussy. Crybabies, you know what I'm saying? They got emojis of freaking Drake crying. You have the crying LeBron James face. They think LeBron and Drake is pussy, but they still the best at what they do. They still got the chart numbers, still sell a lot of sneakers, fill up the seats. Individually, LeBron is still the best basketball player in the league. I don't like him, though. He's selectively soft, just like Drake. Both those guys are the same guy to me.
A little bit manufactured as well.
Yeah. They think they both pussy, yo. They both pussy. It's real moist. Sometimes when I see LeBron, like when he fell on the ground for the Celtics game. That was the most moist moment I've seen in my life. A regular season game.
Moisture is the essence of wetness.
That's the same thing as Marvin's room. Get the fuck out of Marvin's room. What the fuck you in Marvin's room for?
Me and Al both had Jay-Z.
I got Jay because, first off, it seemed like Jay adopted LeBron as soon as he came into the league. He's a rock boy. He's a billionaire. You heard it in the song. And he adapted Jay-Z's style of taking it beyond the original sport, extreme business, man. Jay, to me, is a little more cognizant of what he's doing. Jay's intelligent, tactical. LeBron, I think they just serve him layups and he just signs his name. They could blindfold, just give him a pen and just tell him.
Right.
The exception is LeBron is a big, I know people personally. LeBron's an excellent businessman. Based off seeing him for the last 20 or so years, I don't think he knows exactly what's going on. But he's a winner, and he just signs yes, and he wins every time.
I definitely think the businessman, like the two of them both are businesses. They both transcended and evolved from beyond what their original skill set was that put them on the map. Just the body of work and the high level of performance and quality over a long period of time. There's no other comparison. I mean, you could put Nas on there with Jay-Z. You could put, I don't know that you could put anybody with LeBron, but even if Jay-Z didn't put an album out in a year, you were like, he's still in that discussion for, you could argue he's the best rapper every year. And LeBron, even when he didn't win the MVP in some years, people would be like, he could win MVP this year. He could win MVP every year for like an 8 to 10 year period. I don't know anybody that would argue Jay-Z lower than probably third greatest of all time. And I don't know anybody really that would argue LeBron lower than third. They're top 3 to just about 95% of the population. You just have so many things between the business, the body of work, the level they've attained, and the duration over which they've done it. I'm with you, but I also will say you make a very compelling argument, Professor Cage.
I can see those guys as just two really over the emotional guys who don't have killer instinct in them either. It's much easier to make a singing song that everybody likes to sing along with that shit than a rap. That's why back to back ain't have no bars on it.
I will say this too. I used to make this joke. Jay-Z could literally like make an album where all he does is like fart, and people will be like, yo, that shit is amazing.
Turn that noise down! down, damn it.
Drake is the same thing. Like, he could put out garbage and people will flock to it. LeBron is the same thing. You got your people that are just going to follow him.
But hip hop heads, real heads, fuck with Jay-Z's first 3 or 4 albums. Real hip hop heads hate Drake.
He makes music directly for Instagram girls.
He does some really, really fucking corny shit. Like, a lot of his shit is corny, but some really, like, over the top. Like, I'm like, you're trolling the world with this bullshit. Like, your corniness is so bad. You gotta be fucking with us. It's like mischief. Let's fuck with people. Let's make stupid red boots, and all these fucking dickhead sheep are gonna run around and put them on. I feel like sometimes Drake is just like, how far can I push this?
There's one thing, bro. There's one thing. He annihilated Meek. He got a call. This has never happened in hip hop history. He got a call. He was up for a Grammy for that back-to-back song. Yep. And he's told the Grammys, take my nomination out. He would have won a Grammy on a battle song. If he would have won a Grammy on Meek's neck, that is fucking career ending. Owed him mercy, and he did a song with him after that.
Drake should be able to kill most people. He is a great rapper when he wants to be. He can fucking spit. He's done it before. He's done it when he needs to. He just doesn't do it 90% of the fucking time. And it's no different than, like, LeBron could put his fucking head down. If he had that Kobe MJ mentality, he could put his fucking head down in the fourth quarter and score 18 of the team's final 20, the way MJ and Kobe used to do all the time. But he only has done it, I could count it on one hand. He should be able to do it. And that's what I think frustrates a lot of us, is like, hey, I know Drake. He could be a beast. He's not. And so a guy like me, I'm like, yeah, fuck Drake. And I'm kind of the same on LeBron. I'm like, I need to see him do that. And he's capable of it. And it's frustrating as fuck when I don't see it. MJ.
I said Jay-Z. I think y'all bugging.
Nasty Nas.
I said Biggie. I think it might be a reach, but I'll explain my rationale.
Jordan and Jay-Z, both billionaires. Jordan had the best sneakers. Jay-Z had a sneaker too. You know he had a pair. He had a pair, right?
I absolutely did not. Absolutely did not. No Reebok. The only Reeboks I ever had were the Iversons.
Right now, he's the best commercial rapper. His catalog, I think, surpasses Nas. Is the best commercial rapper ever. He got the prettiest girl. You know what I'm saying? Beyonce. Jordan, I don't know who he's dating or married. I don't know. Probably some chick. But yeah, boom.
She's bad.
And I think they both transcended the genre of Jordan is bigger than basketball. Jordan has the Jordan logo on football jersey. Jay-Z is a billionaire, and people know him as Beyonce's wife, not wife, husband. Yeah, but they know him more than just from freaking rap music now. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's incredible. No one gets mad at them.
Yeah, I said Nas because there's a problem with Lukey's argument, and the problem is the song Ether. So the song Ether means Nas, just like MJ, never lost. Ether was a win. Jay lost a battle. But I got Nas for other reasons too. I got Nas because I know hip-hop and I know Michael Jordan. Before Michael Jordan was winning those championships, he was giving us 50, 60-point games. He was winning titles. He was winning dunk contests. He was giving us all of that. And to me, that's all that DJ Clue stuff that Nas was dropping early. Stuff that was crazy in the underground that a lot of people don't even know about today. Nas has kept his level up. He gave us Illmatic. Jay never wrote an Illmatic. He gave us Illmatic. He gave us excellence. It was written, was excellent. So now, even today, Nas still stays the course. Nas has given us 3 above average albums in the last year and a half. Bro, those above, I know you don't like those albums. I know you don't like them.
Hell no.
But we're talking about a 50-year-old rapper. Jay gave us probably the verse of the year last year. He gave us the verse. That verse is crazy. But Nas is giving us full-length projects that are above average. They're not Illmatic. They're not It Was Written. But it's a new sound and it's above average. I could show you albums today from new artists that ain't from
He's nominated for Grammys for this shit.
Grammys don't mean nothing. Also, Jay-Z retired for a few years and Michael Jordan retired and came back. But I don't like them King Disease albums. I think those King Disease albums dilute his catalog.
I think some of the ones before that diluted, but I mean, and I don't like the first 2. The latest one was pretty hot.
Bro, you're talking about 30 years. What else is he going to say?
Jay-Z got that much. Reasonable Doubt is considered a classic too.
Reasonable Doubt is a classic, but Reasonable Doubt will never be Illmatic.
He also has Black Album, Hard Knock Life Volume 2. No, not 3.
No, he also has I Know What Girls Like. He has all of that stuff too, bro. There's misses from both of them. There's misses from both.
What was that Martin Lawrence movie? Blue Diamond shit.
I like that. Come here, baby, you drive me crazy.
No.
You remember that? And Diamond is a girl's best friend. I like that song. I can't.
What was the joint with Babyface? Oh, wait, no. Sunshine. You'll always be my sunshine.
It's whack.
They both have misses.
Michael Jordan's legacy is cemented, obviously, but there are still people that will argue people above him as the GOAT. Had he stuck around for 5 years, we did the podcast on it. Had he not retired for 2 years for baseball, then 3 years later for retirement, had he played those 5 years, I think it would be undisputed. Nobody would be arguing anything because I think his numbers would blow by Kareem and LeBron's. His rings, he could potentially be 8-0 with 8 straight rings. It would be done. LeBron wouldn't have had his opportunity to be in the argument for number one. Had Biggie stayed alive, I don't know that Jay-Z would have ever surpassed him. It would have ever crossed that Biggie line. I think Biggie, had he gotten another 10, 15 years, whatever, would have cemented his legacy potentially as the greatest of all time. And I don't think there would be a whole lot of debate around it. So I think both of them are a little bit of what could have been, even though they both have great legacies. And Michael Jordan's is much more extensive than Biggie's. I also think the Chicago Bulls were put on the map because of Michael Jordan. The West Coast was running shit when Biggie came and brought it back to the East Coast. He changed shit. He really just said, granted, Michael Jordan took basketball worldwide, made it much bigger than basketball and much bigger than the NBA. But Biggie had that crossover appeal, songs like Hypnotize and everything else. No one questioned what he could do. He could demolish anybody. He has so much credibility, but he brought the East Coast back. I mean, he put it on his back and he was like, yo, let's go, and change things moving forward. So it's a lot of the what could have been. They both carried a team to the top, Bad Boy and the Bulls, but there's that, man, they could have just cemented their legacy if they just had more time.
I wish you had more time.
That's where I draw that comparison. And I do think, even though it was for a short period, I don't know that anybody ever did it as well as Biggie did.
Or Jordan.